Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Today is going to be a holiday glam look, which I'm so excited to be taping for you guys. This tutorial is all kind of based around the holidays, a lot of warm tones for the season, and yeah, I just really love this look. I love how it turned out. This is the look right here. If you want to see how to recreate this look and make it your own, please keep watching. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Alright, so I'm going to first just start off by pinning my hair back a little, my little headband, getting my hair out of the way. Okay, so currently I obviously don't have anything on my face, so I'm going to be priming my face using the Step 1 Nourishing Primer from Makeup Forever, and I know it's super dirty. It was in my makeup bag while traveling for a while, so it's really disgustingly dirty, but I'm going to be mixing these two Makeup Forever Step 1 Nourishing Primer mixed with the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. I talked about this in my previous video, my November favorites, how I like to kind of make a primer nourishing cocktail, moisturizer cocktail, and that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. So you want to do down your neck as well. Make sure you're using clean fingers, because you don't want to be rubbing in any dirt or germs that are on your fingers. Alright, so my next step that I'm going to be doing is my, I was going to do my foundation, but I think actually what I'm going to do is go ahead and do my eyes first. Now, something that I typically like to do is get a piece of tape, which, let me go grab that real quick. So, what I like to do is I like to get a piece of tape, just regular Scotch tape is fine, and kind of get the stickiness off on the back of your hand, just a couple times. And what you're going to be doing is placing it, I actually think I might need a mirror for this. Okay, so you're going to be placing it right there, kind of right underneath where that bottom lash line would kind of extend upwards. So wherever you'd put like a liner is kind of where you'd be placing the tape. So I'll do that. I'll go ahead and do that for both eyes. So the palette that I'm going to be using for my eyes today is the Morphe 350 palette. This has been one of my go-to palettes for the past couple of months now. Absolutely love it for fall time because it's got such warm, wearable shades in it. And all of these eyeshadows are extremely pigmented, extremely soft, smooth, blendable. I mean, you can just see, just from one swatch of this red one right here, that, I mean, bam, look at that pigmentation. Look at that. So, I'm obsessed with this palette. So I'm going to be using that today. Let me grab my handy dandy little towel to wipe off my brushes. Okay, so I've got my brushes here with me, and I'm going to be starting off with just a big fluffy dome brush. This is by Crown, I think. It's just the blending crease brush. So my brushes need to be cleaned, don't judge me, but it's just a big fluffy kind of dome goat-haired brush. And actually, before I do that, I do want to prime my lids. How I prime my lids is basically just use a concealer. Any good old concealer that you have will work perfectly fine. Mine that I have is just the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and it's in the color Fair. And so what I'll do is I'll just dot this all over my lid and blend it out. You can blend it out. So, like I said, for the eyeshadow, I'm going in with that Crown brush, and I'm going to just be picking up the lightest shade possible, which is the shade right here, because it pretty much matches my skin tone. It's just a really nice kind of neutral, it's not white, it's pale, but it's like a very, very pale kind of peachy pale. I don't know if that makes sense. But I'm kind of using that as my base, And I am going to be going to like an actual like applicator mirror because it's really hard to see what I'm doing in this camera. So I'm just picking up some of that again and just making sure that it's nice and even. That's kind of like just my base coat that I like to use. I'm going to go in with a warmer shade. It's going to be our transition shade. Now lately I have been mixing two shades. I've been mixing this one right here. Now unfortunately these don't have names, so I'm just going to be pointing to it. But yeah, and I'll kind of describe what the colors look like too. But these two colors right here, these two right there, those are pretty much similar in the fact that they're like a tannish beige color, so that's going to be great for our transition. So I just like mixing those two together, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be applying it to the outer section and outer section here, and then kind of just blending it inwards, but the most concentrated amount is going to be on the outer edge over here, on that outer V, and kind of into the crease too. I'm going to go in with that color that I swatched earlier, that nice pretty kind of brownish dark red color, and I'll be using this brush right here. This does not have a name on it. I'm pretty sure it's a crown brush as well. And I think the crown brushes, I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can just buy it on their website. I actually got my crown brushes at the makeup. Tape's coming off. It's kind of bugging me. I got it at the makeup show in Dallas this past year. So I'm pretty sure though if you wanted to get crown brushes, you could get them on their website. Always tap out the excess. Okay. Again, it's the same thing. You want to have it darker on the outer edge and then lighter on the inner, but we're not going to go. Basically, you want to leave the whole inner and the middle section blank. You can bring it into the crease. You should bring it into the crease, but just leave kind of like that middle to inner corner section blank. So we're building up the depth on the outer corner and in the crease. And then I'm going to use that same brush that I wiped off we used earlier to just kind of make sure that there's no harsh lines and blend it out. This currently does not have any extra product on it. It's not really necessary at the moment. I just want to blend out the color. Okay, building that color, buffing it out. Your best friend is blending. If at all you think you're not succeeding, blend and you'll be fine. Blending, blending, blending. That's the key. What you can do now we're going to kind of blend out any harsh edges. I just grabbed a little bit of those two base warm brown colors, light brown colors, and I'm just going to kind of bring it up to the brow bone just a little bit, just to buff out any of the harsh lines. Okay, and then we'll just duplicate the other eye. Alright, so now that I've got those two pretty much even, I'm going to be grabbing a darker shade. I'm going to be grabbing this one right here. It's just a nice dark matte brown. And go ahead and just grabbing a pencil brush. This is the Sigma pencil brush E30 right here. Just a regular old goat-haired pencil brush. And I'm going to grab that shade right there. I'm going to be packing that on the outer V section. So I'm just going in and I want to draw a line right where that tape is. Kind of like how you do your eyeliner. And again, when you're picking up some from the palette, you just want to make sure to pack it or tap it off. I can't can't speak. I don't know what it is. Okay. Tap it off. Alright, and then I'm just building it in, lightly kind of tapering it inwards because I want to build that outer V that's nice and dark. You want to blend it as much as possible because you do not want any harsh lines. You don't want that separation where there's like a dark shade and then a lighter shade and then a lighter shade. Like, you want it all to be pretty evenly blended and seamless. Again, this brush does not have any other product on it at the moment, so I'm just simply blending out the color. Okay, now I do want to grab a little bit more of that lighter, that transition shade, and just building that a little up further. I know it looks a little messy right now, but again, when we take that tape off, it'll be nice and crisp and clean. So we're bringing this upwards. This is that first shade that we did, that first transition shade. That one right there is the main one that I'm using because it is the lighter of the two that I blended. Okay, and we're just making sure that all the colors, that dark color's not super harsh, and it blends nice and evenly. You want it to be kind of like a gradient, right? So it's darker and then it kind of gets lighter and lighter and lighter the further you go up towards the brow bone. Okay, now that we've got both evenly blended, now I'm going to go in with the star of the show. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous color. It is my favorite shadow in the entire palette, and it is this one right here. As you can possibly see, it's very, very like highlighty and it's like beaming basically. Let me swatch it for you guys. There's that right there. You see that? It looks like a highlighter, like something that you would use to highlight your face on camera, but actually on the palette, it's definitely more of a pink shade, something that you probably wouldn't want to highlight with. But for eyeshadow purposes, it is absolutely gorgeous. And what I like to do is just literally pick it up with my finger and apply it right to the inner and mid section of my eyelid. I wish the camera did this justice. Now there is going to be a little bit of fallout, but we haven't done our face makeup yet, so it really doesn't matter. And we can always just wipe that away. So once you've got the base on for that, once you've kind of patted it in, you do want to blend it out just to make sure, again, that there's no harsh lines. Build it up a little bit more on the outer section because we do a lot of the blending, it tends to take away from the like depth of the some of the colors. So I like to just kind of go into that very, very outer V section and just lightly apply more of that dark shade on there. That way we can have still that nice depth of color and that nice gradient effect. Okay, we're going in with the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in the color Blackest Black. To apply this, I'm going to be using a angled brush. This is a brand new pot. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love brand new pots of gel liner because it can get kind of like icky and gross the longer you have it. So it's just so nice getting a fresh new one. Okay. This brush right here is really random. I have no idea where it's from, unfortunately. I don't know. It may be from an old collection of makeup brushes that I got for Christmas a couple years ago. I think it was maybe from Saks Fifth Avenue or something random. So I'm just going along the line of where that tape is. And then I'm going to be dragging it inwards a little bit. Now it's gonna look kind of messy just because that tape. So it's going to be nice and clean when we take it off. Bam. This is so nice because you literally don't even have to like fix it. I am going to bring in a little bit more of the liner to the very inner section. What you can do is grab some makeup wipes and clean it up. And this is where I clean up the eyeliner, where you can really kind of make it as soft or sharp as you want. Of course, I'm all about that sharp line, so. And voila, so now that I have both of the eyeliners on, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my brow bone. And I'm going to be using two different products to do that. The reason that we highlight the brow bone is basically to kind of give you that nice highlighted look. I know I haven't done my brows yet, but I just feel like it helps to kind of blend the whole eye look together. So you can use any brush you want. I'm going to be using this Real Techniques. It's a duo fiber eye brush. To apply it, it just applies the right amount, perfectly dusted, and it helps to dust it and blend it into those lower colors. The color that I'm using is that same base pale shade. I'll show you again, just to make sure you guys know what I'm talking about. This one right here. So this is just going to blend those colors together up there, and also highlight it so that basically, same thing as like highlighting and contouring. You highlight certain areas of your face where the light would hit you the most, and that brow bone right there is where a lot of the light hits, and so we just want it to kind of pop, and it just makes the whole look come together. The lashes. So the lashes are so much fun. These are the Ardell Double Up. These are my absolute favorite Ardells ever. I love the wispies, but these are amazing. I don't know if you can see, but they have like a really thick band, and they're like doubled. Like it's not just like one swoop of wispy, it's like double lashes. So they're pretty thick, and they're pretty like pow, you know what I mean? Okay. So I'm going to be using my Duo Lash Adhesive. It's the one in the tube in the dark tone. And just grab my little tweezers. Okay. So first step obviously is going to be to apply some mascara. You want to have something that the lashes can hold on to once you apply them. So I'm using the L'Oreal, I think this is the telescopic one. Which has been my favorite for the past couple of months. If y'all want me to do a in-depth tutorial of how I apply my lashes, how I trim them, how, well, all of it, just how to apply it in general, how to make them look more natural, definitely let me know. I would definitely be open to doing that if y'all are down for it. Alrighty, now that we've got both of the lashes on, I'm going to go ahead and go onto the face. So what I like to use, since I've already primed my face, since I decided last minute to go ahead and do my eyes first, we're already primed and ready to go. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the color Porcelain. That is my shade, obviously. And what I like to do first is use, this is the MAC Prep and Prime. This is the Fix Plus. So this is just the travel size. I've never actually used this before, but like I said in my last video, I get everything in travel size if I can, just so I can try it out first, make sure that my skin doesn't react negatively to it, and then I can buy the full size. So I'm going to go ahead and douse this on. I'm pumping this foundation on the back of my hands, and then I'm going to be grabbing my foundation brush. Again, this is one of the Crown foundation flat brushes. Every other makeup brand has the same brush, so you are good. Basically just lathering this all over my face. So I'm literally lathering this all over. I know that this doesn't quite look like it's even to my skin tone. It's kind of weird because this foundation is so like warm and I'm more cool, and it's just a lot more like yellowy than my actual skin tone, so it doesn't look like it's going to blend necessarily, but it is. I'll just have to make sure that my neck is fully covered as well, just so that it's nicely blended down my neck and there's no like, you know, harsh line or anything. Alright, I'm using a Real Techniques beauty sponge, and this is wet. I just ran it under the faucet and then squeezed all the water out. It basically grows like 5 times its size, and it's awesome for blending. I've been using this nonstop for so many months now, and I haven't even picked up a foundation brush other than that flat one for so long. Like, I can't even tell you, because this just does the job so flawlessly. I just love it. Okay, so we've got our foundation on. I'm going to set my foundation just with a nice mattifying sort of powder. This is the e.l.f. one. I've just been trying it out because I saw it in CVS with this brush. This is the Duo Fiber brush from Real Techniques. Again, it's so fluffy and dense and dual sized, you know. It's got like the short fibers and the long fibers, so I just find it amazing for just making sure that your foundation is perfectly set. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is my concealer. So my concealer is not just going to be concealing, it's also going to be highlighting. So I'm going to be doing it in a triangular motion. So just like this, go kind of beside your nose and then up in a triangle shape like this. And then just kind of fill it in. I'm using the same Real Techniques sponge. I swear, I use this for everything. I freaking love this sponge so much. And it's so much cheaper than the actual, like, original blender sponge. Whatever it's called. Beauty blender. Yes, that's it. Beauty blender. It's so much cheaper than the original beauty blender. Now, you do want to even out your highlight. You don't want to just have, like, stark white, stark brightness under your eye and then have everywhere else be, like, warm. So you want to highlight everywhere else that a normal highlight would be. Everywhere you put the concealer, obviously, you're going to want to set it. Awesome. Now that we've got that done, we're going to go ahead and do the under eyes. Grabbing that dark shade again. Remember this dark brown right here. Placing that right in that inner corner. Okay, and I'm just dusting that brush off, and I'm grabbing that warm red shade that we had. And then I'm going to be grabbing this pencil brush. This is a random pencil brush. I'm pretty sure it's Crown. But as you can see, it's just like a regular old pencil brush. I just want to use this for blending purposes. I'm grabbing that same transition shade, that light brown, and I'm just going to be running that all over just to buff all that in. And then I'm grabbing this brush right here. This is another Morphe brush. I'm pretty sure these Morphe brushes, you can see that. It's really weird. I don't know. I've never used this before, so we'll see how it applies. But it's really thin. Like, as you can see, that's the side of it. It's very, very thin, not fluffy by any means. And really small and precise. I think this came in my Morphe, it's like a vegan palette. It was just like a random palette that I bought that I actually really like. I love all the brushes, so y'all should definitely check it out. Okay, so I'm using that main shimmer shade and I'm applying it right on the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to just dust this brush off real quick because I want to use it again for the inner corner. For the inner corner, I'm going to be using this shade right here. It's just a very nice, light, pale, shimmery pink. And these two, the original one and this one, they go really good together. So because it is a lot lighter than our main shade, I want to apply that on the intersection of the eye. And the reason you want to apply a light shade, preferably on the intersection of the eye, is because it is going to, again, brighten up the eye and make you look a little bit more awake. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the mascara underneath my lower lashes. This is the Ardency in Modster eyeliner. It's the kohl liner for your, well, you can use it for whatever you want, but I use it for the inner waterline because it gives you such a nice dark waterline and it will stay all day, and it's so creamy too. It just gives the whole look another depth of smoky dimension. Okay, I'm going to do my brows off camera just because I feel like everybody really knows, how to do their own brows. If you want me to do a specific brow tutorial, I definitely will. Just let me know in the comments down below, but I will be back after I do my brows. Alrighty guys, so my brows are done. In case y'all are wondering, I did use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the color Caramel. And then to set them, I just used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. So that is that. We're going to go ahead and go into the face. So I want to apply my bronzer. The first thing I want to do is contour just a little bit. So I'm using the NARS Laguna bronzer. This is an amazing bronzer. I don't typically use it to really bronze my entire face because it is such a warm tone bronzer, and I'm more of like a cool tone bronzer girl. But this might seem weird, but yes, I'm using a small little pencil. I don't really have a good contour brush for powders, so if y'all have any suggestions on what you really like for contour brushes, please let me know in the comments down below. We're going to buff that out, but I'm going to be buffing it with a actual bronzer that I'm going to be using. This is the Too Faced bronzer. It's the Milk Soleil. It actually freaking smells like chocolate. Like, it's amazing. We're bringing it up to our forehead, down our temples, into our hairline so that things are nice and even and blended. I'm going to do a little bit underneath the bottom lip because there's a shadow there, and when you do that, it's just going to kind of pout that bottom lip a little bit. You can contour your nose if you want to. I'm going to do it just lightly, and you want to definitely use a cool toned, if you're cool, you want to use a cool tone bronzer for this because you don't want this to look clownish when using a warm toned bronzer. You do want to blend it out though, so I'm going to use that same Real Techniques blending brush and just kind of go over it. I'm going to do my highlight now. Of course, we know what highlight I'm using. It's the same one I've been holding this whole time from Becca. It's the Opal. And I'm going to be, oh, I picked up way out so much. Way too much. Okay, I'm applying it with this Real Techniques. It doesn't have a name. Oh, I think it rubbed off or something, but it had a name on it. Just this Real Techniques Duo Fiber brush. And I'm just, ooh, look at that. Highlight on fleek. Highlight on fleek. So right there on the top of your cheekbone. And I like to do it a little bit up here. Kind of where that like C shape is, where that natural highlight is. Can you see like the difference? Like there's nothing on this side. Nice highlight on this side. Oh, it's so pretty. Yes, honey. Yes. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Same place that we did with the concealing and highlighting up there. We're going to be placing this highlighter there on the chin. And we're all highlighted out. Blush. I'm using the Coralista by Benefit. It's in this cute little box. Isn't that cute? I've hit pan on it, so I'm really sad because this is my favorite blush of all time. It's such a beautiful, beautiful coral color. Taking that Duo Fiber big face brush, Duo Fiber face brush again, and I'm just blending all this in together. Just making sure it's nice and seamless. I'm going to be using the Ofra liquid lipstick in the color Miami Fever. I felt like it was fitting because we're going with warm, kind of reddish brown tones, and I felt like this would be absolutely perfect for that occasion. Okay. This is the final look, you guys. I'll post the picture on Instagram. It's also going to be on Snapchat. If you guys aren't following me already, please do. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, what other looks you want to see. And sorry if this video is a little lengthy. I'm going to try and cut it down to as much as possible. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for the support too. I know my channel is pretty new. I only have like one other video up. But more videos are going to be coming up soon. I'm going to try my best to really get out a video every single week. And yeah, just stay tuned, you guys. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.